Welcome back to the Osteo.
Keep it rolling,
Welcome back to the Vitality Check
No
podcast.
edits, no
Jeez,
edits,
That's how little I get to post these days.
no edits.
Blast
That's the last time
fast.
Jay was here.
Yeah.
The old podcast.
Nice, the business podcast.
Not quite that bad. Yes. Sorry, boys. Welcome back to the
Sorry, Jay.
Vitality Check podcast.
That's so good.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
As always, I'm joined by my esteemed colleagues, Kevin Longprey to my immediate right.
Hello. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Good intro. Thank you.
You're far right.
Thank you. And my far right, Dr. Sean Landry.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. It could be flipped on video. Who knows?
Could be.
What, the doctor?
No,
Yeah.
the left to right.
Oh,
It's an RD.
got it.
I never quite understand that, actually. You're
I'd
right.
never be a doctor.
No.
Played one on TV once.
Too late
Did
for
you
you.
though?
I think so. Like,
Yes, welcome back to
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful spring day in Montreal. It is plus 14 and raining.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but golf has not even been really, not even a concept yet.
what is this golf you speak of?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, we watch all this golf on TV and we look at the states and the southern states and we're having nothing.
No. No.
Indoor sports it is. Hockey style.
Yeah.
Straight from the igloo, straight to the rink.
Yeah.
What we do.
That's all we do. It was a long winter this year too, and a long
And
spring.
we still play summer hockey.
Yeah.
So
It's why we're the best.
never start.
Like Canada's the best.
It's the best beer leaguers.
That's why we lost the
Yeah.
Olympics.
Yes.
I want to talk about
No, we don't.
No.
All right. So anyway,
Yeah.
how's life? How was the weekend?
Oh yeah.
Weekend was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, it was raining and cold at a soccer tournament,
Where was the soccer from?
Ottawa,
Oh,
in our fine capital.
Yeah.
it's a busy weekend for Ottawa.
Did
They
they
have a
win?
big race too this weekend.
Oh,
Yes,
the
the
marathon
marathon,
race as well.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Not as busy or big as Montreal's weekend this weekend. We had the Habs in the playoffs,
Yeah.
and we had the
F1.
Formula One moved up 2 weekends, right?
It did. Yeah, it
They
did.
said maybe the weather will be better in May than it is in June, but because
Didn't
it's
turn
been
out
rainy, it's been consistently rainy for the last few years in this first weekend in June for
Yeah, our second weekend, I think.
yeah, and then we got more rain. Saturday was nice. Saturday
was decent.
nice, yeah.
Wouldn't call it warm.
No, it wasn't warm, but it was
No.
okay.
It
Sunday
wasn't
was-
winter.
It wasn't winter. I mean, I bet you they were looking into winter tires in those F1 cars. They didn't exist because 2 weekends before that, or 2 weeks before, it was
Yes,
just frost warnings. It was not warm, less warm.
less warm.
Did you guys spend the night on it?
We did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, it was a Saturday, Sunday affair.
And how'd you go?
They won
Oh,
7-0 in the final.
I won.
Oh, also a little tourney.
Yeah,
Tourney.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
That's pretty good. 7-0.
less challenging than other years, I think.
Okay.
This is soccer.
Yeah,
For a second, I thought you were going to say flag.
No.
Soccer 7-0 is like,
like my daughter scored the last goal and no one clapped.
yeah,
Except
that's
for
where you
me.
just kind of feel bad.
For you?
Not the
Yes.
not the run.
Yes.
Yeah, in your face.
In your face. Yes, Sophia.
Everyone's like, why are you clapping?
You're the best.
Oh, right. Type.
Yeah, that is a drubbing.
Yeah. It was a bit of a beating.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not the most challenging turn.
Hey, big one
Give
to
it
the
up.
season confident.
Yeah.
Good. Sean?
Yes, great weekend. There was a lot of running around, taxiing, and some chill moments in between. It was good.
Crying.
Sounds like a
Cried
standard weekend.
a little
I
bit.
cried a little bit.
Yeah, I cried a little bit. Mostly
Me too.
just after the overtime. I missed the goal. I went in to put a few neighbors who set up a nice screen in one of the guys' garages, so we're all out there barbecued and stuff watching the game. But then I decided to put the boys to bed before overtime. It was getting late, and came out and the game was over. Missed it, but anyways, it was good.
Keep your finger crossed for tonight.
Got it.
Yeah. Go Habs, go.
Got it. All right, boys. So today we thought we'd kind of broach the subject of why rest can feel hard for some people. Again, why rest can feel hard for some people.
Could you spell that?
Why is the letter? Yeah. So, Kev, when I first, say that title to you, what is that? What's the first thing that strikes your fancy there? What are you thinking of when you hear that?
That is a very common, uh, well, if you want to call it a dysfunction, I guess that's a very common complaint or feeling that people have these days. You know, the first thing I think of is a lot of people have a hard time resting because I think in the society we live in, everyone is so programmed into pushing and doing performance and to doing, you know, above and beyond what they're supposed to be doing because for various reasons. But I think a
So
lot,
essentially, you're identifying the some people in that title, right? That's
yeah,
like
of course.
a characteristic of
Not
that people.
everyone,
Yes.
right?
No, not everyone, but quite often when you ask people, well, why can't you take time for yourself, or why can't you take time to rest? And when they really think about it, they don't really have an answer for you. And so, we can this this could be very different for so many people,
Hmm.
but a lot of people base their value on how much they do,
Yep. So they
how
identify
much they can get done. Like
how productive they
yeah,
are.
whether male, female, whether it's, being able to take care of the kids, have a job, being fit, and then everything else that comes with all of that, like it's kind of unrealistic when you think of why people push themselves that much, and then they don't put as much emphasis on what they need to recover, what they need to have time for themselves. So yeah, the first thing I think of is I think a lot of people have this idea that their value comes from how much they can accomplish. Um, and so if you're always chasing that, you will never stop because it's never enough. So that's one of the biggest things that I notice in people is that their need to do more and more and how they burn themselves out, whether it's work, whether it's home life, whether it's even working out sometimes.
So
Like
I think
even
you said
doing,
so. I think you said a good, again, a good term or word that you used was burn up, even how they burn themselves out, right?
Mhm.
So I think inevitably burnout will happen. Depends on what aspect of life, and how much someone is juggling.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that's really important concept is if you don't, you'll see signs probably along the way. We'll see them, right? Physically,
yeah,
mentally, emotionally, in practice, right? We'll see a lot of overuse injuries or the body telling a story um, with different symptomatology, dysfunction, dis-ease, as you said, as Jay, you said earlier. So really, really being able to recognize, um, yeah, that like you say, that you know, burning themselves out is inevitable when you will never be able to reach
Mhm.
whatever said kind of benchmark you're trying to hit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Moving target. There you go.
the word that struck me, Kevin, when you used your example was recover and recovery, because that's like a word I would even use for that group of people. They would see recovering more as like a waste of time, and there's just no time for that. To me, it strikes the idea of
Well, there's
like
a new term for recovery. It's called active recovery.
active recovery, exactly,
Yeah.
because it brings them in. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they wouldn't do it at all. It makes me think of those, and we've all had them in our office before. Those the runners that can't miss a day, right?
Mhm.
No, I can't miss a day of running, even though exercise science for the last 40 years has clearly showed that rest and recovery will make you a better runner.
Yeah.
But I think we've all had those in our offices too, right? Where they just can't give up that day. Um, and it seems to be too, like the kind of people that they don't like to rest are it extrapolates in all aspects of their life, obviously, that they're the type A's that just go, 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 go and push, push, push. And their idea of like even their idea of if they try to relax almost, let's say they're crossing to do weight training, it's like they push so hard. It's never like this rest and easy. If they do yoga, it's power yoga. It's
Power.
always like pushing to the max. And
Or else it's not
Yeah.
worth it.
We made yoga
Yeah.
a workout when it was supposed to be,
100%.
connecting to self, meditation, relaxation, yin, essentially the yin to
Exactly.
the yang of life, right?
Which we all know would be so much more beneficial for them
Yeah.
to get into a parasympathetic state is always in that sympathetic. It's almost like the sympathetic people don't like to recover, and then they push in harder in more sympathetic needs. Their workouts are crazy workouts, and they're Orange Theory stuff, or they got to be sweating to get a good workout in. So it definitely seems to me like you can identify like a personality type or a characteristic that really pushes that realm of.
Well, the classic person coming in is that person, like Sean said, that has all the signs and symptoms, right? Like
The itises,
they're
the
coming in,
inflammatory.
tons of inflammatory. We can get into why that happens in a second, but
Yeah.
So tons of inflammatory stuff going on. Either they're digestively off, their sleep is off,
sure.
like recovery is off. They just don't seem to get rid of things like they used to, you know. Some of which they'll always blame on age or whatever else, but when in reality, it's the method they're using in the approach to life of constantly pushing the envelope and not um, being aware of the balance that's required, that yin and yang that is required in life. You know, like when can I push? When should I listen and actually rest and recover? Finding that fine balance is only comes when you start to listen to yourself a little bit more, right? So when you're too busy trying to constantly do things or achieve things or to, for whatever reason.
Oftentimes is you're your own harshest critic.
Yeah, of course.
Most often it's just self-inflicted, right?
Which a lot of these things, they're like what we talked about, devaluation topics,
Yes.
right? So they're like when people place their value in outside things, like what they do for a living, what they achieve, the financial optics, all these things are things outside of us, right? So it's that's why it's never enough, because you can't really fill yourself enough with those external.
Yeah, and even though they may be exhausted, because that's probably another thing they complain of.
Yeah,
they don't actually sleep and rest. I get to exercise to push through it to get my energy back.
Yeah, or coffee, or stimulants,
which will give them the short-term kick.
Yeah.
It will help in the short term, but then there's usually the crash right after that.
Yeah, and there's such a wide range. It doesn't mean everyone that is doing that. If you recognize yourself in some of what we're talking about, it doesn't mean you're gonna have a burnout.
No,
because so many people I've treated have done this for years, and they're still kind of going. You know, like their body's deteriorating potentially, but they're not necessarily getting to that point where which is basically the burnout is the body telling you, okay, you're not listening to me.
Yeah,
I will make you.
I'm going to shut it down.
Yeah,
you're not going to be able to do it. So that could be chronic fatigue, all these different things.
Oh yeah, I'll use another analogy of like the robbing Peter to pay Paul. So like you said, they're going, and then their capacity to buffer stress diminishes over time based on like, utilizing energy and resources from the body. So the itises, right? So you end up with all these inflammatory kind of states here, and your body's on fire because you're stealing, the hierarchy will be, oh, I got to protect the organ systems, the glands, and the nervous system. So then it'll start to leach minerals in order to run those systems because your tank's empty, right? From the tissues and the muscles and it'll those are lower on the priority list. So then, the collagenous tissues, your tendons, your ligaments, and then you end up with the sprains and strains and itises, right? And that's kind of the way it does it. It'll, in order to keep you going, it's like Kevin said, your body's falling apart, but you can still keep pushing forward. So you end up aging prematurely, essentially. But your body will always kind of do that and compensate and rob your PayPal to keep you from going from point A to point B. And short term, that stuff is good. We're designed to do that stuff. It's the long term.
That's a great point.
Where it does catch up with us. So yeah, I mean, most of the solutions are not just one thing, right? So they're going to be multifactorial and they're going to be, in order to see and to make changes, sometimes you do have to face an injury of some sort in order to go, oh yeah, okay, I am burning the candle at both ends. I do see this is going on in my life. I am, yeah. So again, it can be quite complicated, essentially, when you're trying to kind of make changes, but at the same time, Jay, you say this all the time, like it could be very simple. It's like, what do you like doing for yourself? Like really actually think. And Jay's told this story numerous times where he had a patient that, she was trying to do yoga for years, and finally Jay's like, "Do you even like yoga?" She's like, "No, I don't. I like to walk." Well, then walk, right? And she started walking, and
And lo and
lo and behold, right?
everything started to clear up. Yeah, for sure. I like what you said there, Sean, too. In the short term, it's actually a strength of humans that we can push through things and hit a
Yeah.
deadline a deadline and get through it. And that's really important. But it's these things that, like you said, we persist, and if we just can never do it and never shut down, then it's certainly indicative that there's some unhealthy choices being made from whatever angle you're looking at.
It's like the intention's important, right? There's a fine line between drive and abuse. Like, so yeah, like you said, for sure having drive to do things and do things well, like that's great.
Yeah, you don't want the inverse, right? Where you always rest and aren't doing anything. We certainly don't aren't
Lost
doing
like
that,
also exists.
which is probably even more of an issue.
Yes. Yeah, they're equal and opposites, right? So there are just as many negative side effects to the exact opposite, right? So
When we see it in our office, right, where we give these exercises, definitely there's more people that don't do them at all, but there are others that we have to rein in all the time.
Yeah.
I know what you're like. Don't do them too much, like you're trying to slow them down.
Yes.
And other people you're trying to encourage to
kick them in the butt.
Do something.
Right.
Yeah. No, you're doing too much. No, that's too much. No,
no, not like.
Oh my gosh,
not like that.
No, that's too much. Yeah. No, that's not enough. No. What movie is that? Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Paul Rudd forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's that. There you go. That's a potential analogy for life. Sometimes you could be doing too much.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're not doing enough. So I don't know. Just figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
thanks for joining us today.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything's been learned.
Yeah. So if you feel like you're doing too much, you probably are. And if you feel like you're not doing enough, you probably are. Right.
In a nutshell.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, listen, I mean, if you have any other questions or comments, feel free to tune in. But I think we already know who we are. If you've clicked on this title, there's a pretty good chance you're thinking, oh, that's kind of something that resonates.
These guys are idiots.
Yeah. These guys don't know what it takes to get it done.
Yeah.
But no, so
lazy. These guys are lazy.
Yeah.
Telling me to rest.
Yeah. So if you feel like it's hard for you, tune in and see if you can pick up some little tips and identify some tricks and carve out some time for yourself.
Absolutely.
Ask
yourself that question: why? Why am I not doing that? Right? Just like the title.
Just like the title.
Just like the title. All right.
All right. Thanks, boys.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Check.
We'll see you next week.
Ciao, everyone.